Hi everybody! Welcome to some simple and basic ways to make the Healthy Active Challenge that much easier. Everybody thinks pastas and breads are carbohydrates, and yes they are, but don't forget about your vegetables too. Those are good strong carbohydrates. And carbohydrates have gotten a really bad name recently. Low carb diets are very popular, and they do benefit some people some of the time. But keep in mind that not only does your body's energy level function off of carbohydrates, but so does your brain. Your brain functions off of carbohydrates. So you've got to not starve your brain of carbohydrates. We're going to make a very simple, easy bread. This will go well with our last recipe, which was hummus. It's Irish soda bread. Now there's not a lot of kneading, and there's no yeast involved, and there's not a lot of rise time. It's simple and basic. Dump it in the pot, mix it up, knead it together just a little bit, and bake it. So what we're going to use is some basic flour. You can use white flour. I'm using whole wheat flour because in order to get points, it has to be a complex carbohydrate. Whole wheat flour is a complex carbohydrate. Baking soda, again, Irish soda bread. I'm going to use milk to moisten it, a little bit of salt, and some cheese. You know those the cheese you get with pizza? Well, I keep mine in the refrigerator or in the freezer, and I use it for things like my Irish soda breads. So into the pot goes about 2 cups of flour, no sifting necessary unless you really want to. Half a teaspoon of baking soda. And half a teaspoon of salt. Little much. Put the rest in the sink because I want it to have a nice salty flavor, but the cheese is going to help do that too. And then I'm going to dump my Parmesan cheese. And this is just leftovers from the pizza place. About 1/3 of a cup. Or if you like it a little cheesier, add a little more cheese. And dry stir. Okay, with that all blended in there nicely, I am going to add 1 cup of milk. I'm just going to eyeball it because I know I want it moist, but I do want it a little bit crumbly too. Don't want it too wet. Can always add more. It's hard to subtract it. Maybe just a little bit more moisture. I don't want it too sticky and doughy, but I do want it to be a loaf. I want it to blend together. And now for the fun part. Dig my hand in there. Clean hands, please, of course. And mix it up so that it forms a little bit of a ball. And on a dusted countertop, lightly dusted with flour, there goes my bread. One hand or two. Don't over knead it, because if you over knead it, it gets tough. You don't want a tough bread. You're going to want to preheat your oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit for this bread. A little bit of oil. Just using my hand. Bread goes directly on there. A little bit of oil on the top so it doesn't get too tough. I save back a little bit of egg and put a little bit of egg on the top. Again, just use my hand. Or you can use a pastry knife if you have one. Great if you do. Don't worry about it if you don't. And ready, set, let's bake. Ooh, a nice golden brown. Now I'm going to put a clean stainless steel knife into it. You can also use a fork. And if it comes out clean, the bread is done. Let me do that one more time. It looks a little bit sticky. One more time just to be sure. Looks like our bread is done.